Hello, ladies and gents, and everyone in between. As per usual, I think this is becoming a thing. We're just gonna burn some incense. So, this is Palo Santo. I don't have sage anymore, and this is my last stick of Palo Santo. So, yeah, I invite you to set an intention or take a deep breath in and out and just maybe ask for the universe to give you a sign or confirm something you've been manifesting. Yeah, I just want this to be a safe space for our energies and for you to find whatever it is that you're looking for. And myself, I look really white today on camera. I'm not that white, but hey, we just gonna roll with it. So guys, I'm really excited. I'm gonna let this Palo Santo burn. I invite you to make yourself a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, hot beverage, whatever. I'm drinking a pint of decaf with oat milk. I think you've got it by now. I always drink pints of everything, basically. I don't know what I can do with like those small glasses, even when it comes to water. I mean, in 2 gulps, it's over. Oat milk is immaculate. So, as you might know, I'm leaving for Mexico in exactly 2 days. And I decided this was like an amazing opportunity to just like film some travel related content. So this video is gonna be all about tips how to travel cheap and like tips I gathered amongst my travels when it comes to traveling, because guys, oh my god, I think I started traveling when my first year of college. Yeah. And for a little background, I grew up like, yeah, poor, I guess. Yeah, kind of poor. I mean, especially when my parents got divorced, our status got worse. But yeah, basically when I was like growing up, my parents would tell me like, hey, traveling is expensive, like all those limiting beliefs. I'm not blaming them, they did their best. However, what happened was when I wanted to travel, I was like in this like scarcity mindset. So I thought like if you wanted to travel, it had to be like super expensive and super fancy. But as far as I can remember, I've always wanted to like travel the world. And I think when I was like 6, I vocalized it. I was like, I want to travel the world. I want to do like a worldwide tour and stuff. And every time my parents would tell me, yeah, you can't, or you have to wait until you really gain it, you earn a lot of money and stuff. So it was kind of hard for me, especially like seeing all these YouTubers going abroad and stuff. And I was like, I want to do the same, but like it's gonna cost way too much money. And then I thought to myself, girl, you're just gonna put yourself out there, figure it out on the way, and try to make it work. Because I think you've got it by now, I love to put myself in like out of my comfort zone, and like really put myself out there and see and just see then, I think it's amazing to manifest and to like want to know which direction you're going to take, but eventually you're not going to know every detail, and this is not up to you to figure it out. It's up to the universe. So yeah, and why this video? Because guys, oh my god, so many people ask me this question: how do you afford and how do you manage to travel this much for this long? So yeah, I'm here to answer all your questions because I'm not gatekeeping. And it took me a little while to perfect those, but I think it's safe to say that now I found my balance, and I kind of know the tricks and trips, the tips and tricks. Disclaimer, guys. If you like to travel and go to like fancy hotels and like really live your best life and spend a lot of money and stuff, there is nothing wrong with that. However, I don't think you're gonna gain anything from this video. This video is more about like how you can travel cheap and how you can like get the most out of a trip with like little money. So yeah, my first tip is if you take a flight regarding like comfort, guys, I discovered this like not too long ago. It literally changed my mind. It changed my life. So basically, it's sitting at the back of the plane. Because when you sit at the back of the plane, you have like more room for your legs, more room, like you can incline your seat. You're close to the bathroom. And most of the time, you just have 2 seats instead of a few. So it's easier for you to go, like if you want to take a walk on the plane, like if it's a really long haul flight. But this is only a good idea if you have a huge layover, or if you're just gonna take one flight and you don't mind like waiting a little bit until you hop off. Because if you're on the back of the plane, what's gonna happen is that it's gonna take you forever to get out of the plane. So if you have a huge layover, this is amazing, and you don't have to stress it out. You're just like chilling in the back, and you wait until everyone like gets out until you can do too. Oh, what is something that really changed my travel experience is only travel with a carry-on. I mean, only to an extent. If I'm going abroad for like a few months, I'm gonna take something else, either a suitcase or a backpack. It depends like on the nature of my trip. But yeah, guys, it really changed my experience. Like I remember when I went to China, like I think it was in 2017. I was in China and I left for 2 weeks. And it was my first big trip outside of Europe, and I had just started traveling. Guys, I took like 2 middle-sized luggages. Like I had 2 of them. Can you imagine that? That was mental. For 2 weeks, basically what I did was just like pack a bunch of different outfits. Not even outfits, I literally packed like a bunch of different clothes. And I didn't really like choose my outfit before like packing. So, and that was awful, because when I was in China, I was like, I have all these clothes, but like nothing goes with nothing, you know, like I just have a lot of clothes and that's it. And yeah, I think if I travel like in Europe and I'm just gonna do like, you know, 1 or 2 weeks, and it's gonna be a really chill trip, like we're just gonna go with the flow with friends or whatever, I'm just gonna take my carry-on. Because what's amazing with your carry-on, and what I didn't know before, is that you take your carry-on with me, hence the name, carry on. And yeah, so what's happening is that when you hop off the plane, you can just like leave, whereas if you traveling with like suitcases, you have to hop off the plane and then wait until you get them, and sometimes they get lost and stuff. So yeah, traveling with the carry-on saves you so much time. Guys, if you can, I advise you to do it. And I don't know what's the most I did with the carry-on. I think 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I mean, once you start like really packing light, you really realize you don't need much. And guys, coming from me, like I went to China with 2 middle-sized suitcases. Like if I could have, I would have taken like 2 huge suitcases. Like I was really the kind of girl that was packing so heavy. Now I don't. And I think it's also easy, like it's easier because you can just like go around and move without having to carry like those huge suitcases. Oh yeah. Also, when it comes to carry-ons, the flights are cheaper because you not most of the time flights are cheaper. I mean, especially in Europe, when I travel in Europe, flights are cheap. So you have to pay if you want to take like a bigger suitcase. So the flights are cheaper if you travel with the carry-on, which is not necessarily the case like if your flight is long, because most of the time everything is already included. So if that's the case, it doesn't really change that much when it comes to the money side of things. But still, it's gonna take you less time to get out of the plane, out of the airport and stuff. You can arrive at the airport not like a long time before your flight. Like I think in on average, I when I'm traveling with the carry-on, I try to arrive at the airport like 2.5 hours before. But don't quote me. Don't do that if you don't feel like doing that, because once or twice I almost missed my flight. It never happened though, guys. I never missed my flight. My flight never got delayed. I mean, I'm touching wood. So yeah, and then, you're not gonna have to like be at the airport super super early and stuff. Oh, the best, guys. Like if you're traveling inside Europe, you can find like super 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 cheap flights. If you book your flights like a few months in advance, I usually do that. I mean, I almost never book flights or trips last minute, except if I go by car, then I don't know. I don't care because I don't have like to book something. I mean, a flight. Because flights, if you book last minute, it's way more expensive than if you just like book an Airbnb or whatever last minute. Um, so yeah, that's when it comes to it. Yeah, but wait, yeah, in Europe it's really really cheap. So what did I want to say? Yeah, yeah, yeah. In Europe it's really really it's really really cheap, but yeah, still, wherever you're going, guys, use this which is called Sky Scanner. This saved my life, especially for the long haul flights. Um, what it does is just gonna compare like a bunch of different websites and try to find you like the cheapest deal. And you can even choose like if you date like if you want to go and you're like kind of flexible, you can literally like check, um yeah, I want to go like let's say in May and stuff, and it's just gonna like give you the cheapest dates and stuff to go. I know a lot of people have talked about like Google flights. Guys, maybe it's just me, but I always find like super super expensive flights with Google flights. So if it works for you, just keep doing that. But I really love Skyscanner. But I don't only use that, like before I book a trip, I always like try to compare different websites. But yeah, I really like Skyscanner. Oh, also, and if you want to go somewhere but you don't know where to go, they just gonna advise you like cheap places. When I'm traveling, I always, not always, like 99% of the time, go for hostels or Airbnbs. When I started traveling, I really used like Airbnbs 99% of the time, because I needed like to build this habit of traveling alone and getting to know myself and being safe, feeling safe. And then once this habit was like built up, I was like, okay, I'm ready to move to hostels. I don't like hotels. I think this is really impersonal. I don't like the vibe. It's giving me you go there to have sex and then leave kind of vibes, and that's not I don't like it. I'd rather go for an Airbnb, which I like the vibe. You are at someone's place, or like it feels homey, or hostels because you meet people. It's like the vibe is great. When it comes to booking your flight, guys, use a private tab. Oh, when you book a flight and it's like a short haul, meals are not included. Like if you book with a low cost company, you pay for the minimal costs. You pay for the minimum things. So if you want to drink something, it's gonna be you have to pay for it. If you wanted something same, like anything you might need like extra, it's gonna be like you're gonna have to pay for it. But if your flight is like a long haul flight, you're not gonna pay for anything. Oh, I think unless you drink alcohol. Alcohol I've never drinking alcohol on a flight. But yeah, like basically they can like if they give you meals like every few hours, and like things to drink and like snacks and whatever. So don't think about that when you're flying with a long haul flight. Look for the low season. If you can go during this season, is amazing because it's going to be cheapest and you're not going to see that much tourists. I most of the trips I've done were during low season because of the pricing, and also I mean it's amazing when you can travel and there are not many people around you. I mean, of course, if you really want to go somewhere and this is the only time you get, this is fine, but I've been fortunate enough to be able to travel. And I mean, I was a student, so I would rather like just travel during low season and then stay in my hometown for the summer and then work for the summer than doing it the other way around. And one of my trips to travel cheap is to live like a local. Like, guys, when I was in Bali, I would just eat at this like random warung, which was called Warung Hana. If you're ever in Ubud, that's the best warung ever. I still don't know how to pronounce this name. And yeah, I usually live like a local, so I don't do shopping. Most of the time, I don't have the room to do shopping because I mean, I don't know where to put stuff I would buy. I try to buy gifts when I'm traveling for a long time, but not necessarily. I don't really go shopping or splurge. Like I just want to eat well and try some local things, some local experiences. But sometimes, yeah, I would splurge on coffee. Like that's my thing. I really love to go to a coffee shop and just like read or work a little bit or whatever it is. I love the coffee shop vibes. Yeah, so you really don't have to splurge when you're abroad. Like go eat out from time to time and try local food. But if you can cook most of your meals, or let's say you eat once a day out, and what did I write? Once a day out. Like let's say day one lunch day, day two dinner, you'll spend a lot of money, like even buying a sandwich. So yeah, if you can if you can if you can cook, that's good. If you can't, like just try to eat local if you really don't want to splurge. And I think you're just gonna build this habit because when I started traveling I was like, okay, I want to eat there, I want to eat there, I want to eat here, I want to eat there. And then I mean you just lose the habit of doing so because I mean now traveling is kind of part of my routine, so I don't want to splurge. For me, like going abroad is just like about learning a new culture, really getting to know people, and not about splurging. Like I used to think that was the goal, like really like I'm on vacation, I can do whatevs and stuff. This didn't work for me. I'd rather like keep it low key, keep it chill. I'm not here to splurge. And I think we're in this capitalist society, you think that you necessarily have to buy, but you don't. You really don't. And you can have fun without buying that much. Okay, oh my god, this video is already 20 minutes long. I'm not done yet. I think I'm gonna go film a part 2, guys, because I don't want it to be more than 20 minutes. If you found this interesting, please go for part 2. And thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye!